I was inspired by recent events, recent talks that I've been part of, to maybe start out tonight and talk about what I call the deep end of the pool. The deep end of the pool. So we're gonna delve into some things that are a little beyond mindfulness, a little bit beyond what most people talk about when they're talking about spirituality. And that's the fact. The fact I want to talk about tonight is for us to try and get at least a taste of the idea of who we really are. And this is not something that a lot of people put a lot of thought into. And those that do reach a point where sometimes what they arrive at is relatively scary, I guess, or frightening. Because if we start to ask ourselves the question, who are we really? I think the easiest way to approach that question is to use one of the, I'm not sure what the right word is, it's not a concept, but it's a method that Buddhists use in some of their questioning of themselves. And that's to use, instead of asking yourself who you are, you start asking yourself questions about who and what you're not, which helps you arrive at who you are. And sometimes it's easier to figure out who you're not than who you are. You know, so we can start down this path of paring away or culling away the ideas of who we're not, to get a little closer maybe to that idea of who we truly are. So we can simply start off with, we could go around the room and I could ask questions, but I think I'll just sort of ask myself questions. And, we'll see where that leads. And so if I were to ask myself, who am I not? Or what is it that is not me? And I think the first thing I can say fairly simply is that I'm not my name. My name has been given to me. So that's not something I was born with. My name is something that people refer to me with, but it really doesn't describe me. So I can say that I'm not my name. And we can go down that path of basically saying, well, if I'm not my name, then as I try and describe myself and trying to decide whether those things are part of me or not, I can also say that what I do, what I work at, is not me either. It's not me. It's something I do, but it isn't the essence of me. I could be doing anything. I could be doing any job. I've had a job, as we've all had jobs in our lives, but you could have had other jobs and you would still be you. So we're not our name and we're not what we do or what our job is. And we can kind of continue down that path of each one of us knows what our nationality is. Where did we come from? Are we Irish? Are we whatever? German, French? We may have the genetics of a particular race or cultural group, but that's not really who we are. It's the genetics of our body and how it's put together, or the traits that it has, are not us either. As well as, honestly, our bodies aren't us, really. I mean, it's what we're in, but it doesn't define who we are. If we were all blind, we wouldn't know what our bodies looked like. I wouldn't know what you looked like. You wouldn't know what I looked like. So if we're trying to get down to that core idea of what and who are we really, we're not our bodies. And there is nothing about our body, the genetics, the history of that culturally, that is really lends anything to who we are. Now, these things might define our personality. They might define how we think of ourselves. But in reality, is that really us either? Is our personality us? That's a big step, okay? This one's a big step. So if we think about personality, when we were born, we basically get taught by those around us on how to be. And we're told what we are. Our personality is like a house that's built with bricks. And each brick is a thought or an idea or a concept given to us by someone else. And we're told we're pretty. We're told we're smart. We're told we're stupid. We're told we're worthless. We're told that we're good people, or that we're good Christians, or that our family is this, our family is that. What happens as we grow up, we start to spin a story about what we are. And everything that comes into it, we add into that story. And we start to think of ourselves as the story, that's what we are. And we take that to the most extreme phase of that would be that I don't do certain things because that's not me. And what that really is saying is that doesn't fit the story that I've created for myself based on what everybody's told me. So when we're trying to dig down deeper to find out what we really are, who we really are, the story of us, the idea of all these things that we've always thought about ourselves throughout our life, are not really at the core of our essence. They're what we've wrapped ourselves in. It's the clothing that we wear, in a way, if you want to use another metaphor. It's like we have these clothes that we put on, and those clothes define who we are. The stories define who we are. Our experiences are added to this story of who and what we are. But if we were to strip that completely away, again, we would still exist. We would still be here. People that have amnesia, they have no story. Their story's gone. They don't know who they are. They don't know where they came from. They don't even recognize themselves in the mirror, and yet they still exist. They're still there. They're still talking. You ask them if they like the taste of apples. They go, I don't know. You know? But they still know what taste is. They can still talk. They still can converse. But they have no memory of their story. And yet, they're still who they are. And they may act in certain ways and not even know that they do, because even though they don't remember the story, there's sort of a memory muscle, if you will, that continues to act. And their bodies and the way they've trained their body or the way they've moved or whatever, that sort of continues on. But all of these things are centered around the body and the story.